the bigger you are, the more you're allowed to drink. So if you weigh 100 kilos, you can drink twice as much as your girlfriend or wife who weighs 50 kilos.
Yeah, if you're drinking with a tiny little person...
I'm just going to have half a beer.
Yeah, I'm having 5 beers.
3 beers.
Another beer.
Teacher talk. We are English teachers. Teacher talk. We are speaking in English. Teacher talk. A little bit slowly. Teacher talk. So you can understand us. Teacher talk.
Ooh, Benny boy, I like it cold.
You love cold things.
Ooh, Ben.
You need it cold.
That beer is ice cold.
It looks really nice.
Yes, did you notice the special cup that I use?
Yeah, it's a cup that seems to be frozen. It has a layer of ice within the cup.
That's right, Scorpion.
Yeah. So the cup itself is like an ice block cup.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a little compartment, little area inside the plastic cup.
A secret little area.
Yes, you put it in the freezer.
Yes.
And the liquid on the inside of the cup freezes.
Can you change that liquid?
No.
So the liquid stays in there forever.
It stays in there forever. It's special freezer liquid.
Yeah, and I envy you because I can't have a beer.
Nope.
No,
only me.
No beer for me.
That's because
I have to drive a car.
you're a safe driver.
In Australia, you can have 1 or 2 beers and still drive your car.
It's
Yeah.
the same in Canada.
Right.
There's a limit.
Yes, a blood alcohol limit.
Yeah. Here in Japan, the law is a kind of zero tolerance.
That's right. 0% alcohol in your body if
Meaning
you're driving.
You cannot have even 1 drop.
Oh, come on, just 1 drop.
No.
Just
it's
put it
all
on my
mine.
tongue. I like the Japanese law because
Me too, because I don't drive.
Yeah, well, you love it. You don't give a shit. But for me, it makes things very simple.
Simple and safe.
In Australia, sometimes I visit a friend and I have 1 beer.
They say, "Aye, mate, you want a beer?"
Go on, crack another coldie.
Anyway, the law here is zero tolerance. In Australia, there is a blood alcohol limit.
Yes.
Same as Canada.
So you find yourself wondering, am I okay? 1 more beer. It's been 2 hours. It's stressful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
confusing
it's
too.
confusing.
Because the bigger you are,
Yeah.
the more you're allowed to drink. So if you weigh 100 kilos,
Yes.
you can drink twice as much as your girlfriend or wife who weighs 50 kilos.
Yeah. If you're drinking with a tiny little person...
I'm just going to have half a beer.
Yeah, I'm having 5 beers.
3 beers.
Another beer.
And your blood alcohol might be the same. Because you're right. It's about your body size.
It's about body size
Yeah.
and body weight and how much you drink. Very confusing.
Lots of things. Very science-y.
I think it's better to have a zero tolerance rule.
Yes.
So there's no gray area.
That's right. And if you're going to drink and drive in Japan, you might as well drink 10 drinks and just
No.
go for it.
No.
Because it's the same
Don't.
as drinking half a beer.
Well, no, don't drink and
Yeah.
drive. The reason why I like the rule here is because it's a zero tolerance rule. If you're not driving, you're allowed to drink in the car.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
So for me,
You love it.
I love it.
But wouldn't it be more fun if I was having a beer too as we drove along together?
I mean, It would be more fun if there was one other passenger.
Beers with the boys in the car. Beers with the boys in the car. Whoop.
Beers with
Beep,
the boys in
beep.
the car.
Beep,
Drinking down those
beep.
beers in the car.
Get out of the way.
Road trip.
Beer boys coming through.
Beer boys coming through.
There they go.
Glug,
Oh,
glug,
those
glug,
beer
glug.
boys are at it again.
But the driver is totally sober.
Yes, sitting there while his friends enjoy some kind of beer car party around him.
Yeah, right. But in Canada, you're not allowed to have open alcohol in a car or vehicle.
Australia is the same.
Right.
That might spill into the mouth of the driver. Ah.
Right. Or the driver might drink while he's driving
Yeah.
and then say, oh, here, you take this. Oh, no, sir, I've only had one beer.
Yeah, but that's why they have tests. I don't really understand that law. Let the passenger drink a beer. Who cares?
I think zero tolerance is the way to go.
Yes. For the driver.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess it's also because in Japan there's really great public transportation.
That's true.
And there's a lot of areas in Australia and Canada where if you don't have a car, you can't really go anywhere.
That's right.
So if you want to have dinner at your friend's house and enjoy a couple glasses of wine,
Yep.
you should be allowed to drive home if you wait a few hours and you're sober,
Right.
because there's no other way to get home.
Maybe that's true. In Japan, there are a lot of options. Like you say, the public transport is great. Also, they have the service, which is very popular, where two people will come in their little car,
The Daiko
right?
service.
And one will jump in your car and drive your car home for you.
That must be a really stressful job because you're driving a drunk guy's car. And
you be
he's-
careful.
Yeah.
You don't drive it like that.
Hey, careful. Hey, watch it. My car.
She likes it when you hold the stick like this.
Gentle.
Ah, sir,
Right. Don't you think that would be stressful?
I wouldn't enjoy that job.
Apparently, being a taxi driver is a very stressful job.
Yeah, it must be horrible sometimes.
Yeah, because the person who gets in the car knows exactly where they want to go, and they're behind you, and it must be stressful.
If they're not chatty drivers,
Yeah,
if they
I like-
drive in silence.
I like to chat. If they chat with me, usually I'll give them a tip.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I tip taxi drivers almost every time.
Very kind. But you are from a tipping culture.
Yes, I hate
Yes.
it, but in Japan, the drivers don't usually get tips.
No.
So they seem especially happy when I give them a tip.
That's nice. You probably make their day.
I know that I read somewhere, or I heard, that being a taxi driver is one of the most stressful jobs.
Right.
So I kind of remember that, and I try to brighten their day with
That's
a
nice.
couple $100 tip, a couple of dollars.
That's really nice. And the taxi drivers here in Japan are much kinder than Australian taxi drivers.
Oh, really?
Generally, yeah.
Australian taxi drivers, are they known to be rude?
Yes, if you approach the taxi, they might put down the window and they say, "Where are you going?
Where are you going, mate?
Where are you going? Airport?" They always want to go to the airport.
Airport?
Yeah,
No?
airport is it? I don't have suitcases. I'm wearing sandals. I got my beach towel. Does it look
No,
like I'm
no.
going to the fucking airport? They want a long trip to make more money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's understandable.
It's understandable, but it's illegal. They're not supposed to do that. So if I say, I'm going 10 minutes down the road.
Oh, the beer's so cold, Ben. Oh, it's so good.
Really? Still cold?
Because it's in this special cold cup.
I know about the
man,
cold
it's so
cup.
good. Taxi drivers,
Yeah.
they're legally not allowed to say no.
Yeah, they have to take you.
Yeah. And this was a huge problem in Vancouver.
Really?
Yes. It was extremely difficult to get a taxi late at night going out of downtown, trying to get back to a suburb or far away area.
Sure.
The taxi drivers would refuse.
Yeah, which I'm sure they're not allowed to do.
They
That's
want
illegal in Canada also.
Yes, but they do it.
Sure.
So they want to stay downtown
Yep.
so that they can get a passenger here to there and then again there to here.
That's right. If they're driving out to the forest area, they're not going to get a raccoon or a squirrel who wants to go downtown.
What did you just say?
A raccoon or a squirrel.
Was that how you say squirrel?
Squirrel. You say squirrel?
Squirrel.
What are you, from Alabama?
No, that's what they're called.
They're not. They're called squirrels.
No, they're
Yes,
not.
they are. Clearly
What
spelled.
the fuck is a squirrel?
What's
Is
a
that
squirrel?
like a queer squirrel?
You
A
sound.
squirrel?
There's a squirrel in that.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway,
check the spelling and get back to
Squirrel.
me. Yeah.
it's squirrel.
Squirr.
There's
If it
no,
was squirr,
there's no
it would.
I in squirrel.
Yes, there is.
Oh, is there?
Yes, there fucking is.
Okay,
Abe, I'm
still.
sorry. I thought you were a teacher. This whole podcast has been a lie.
Is there an I in squirrel? Anyway, coming back to the downtown area, they won't get a passenger. So they don't want to go all the way out there.
Yeah.
But
Oh, hold on.
the airport is perfect because it's far away and there are always passengers waiting at the airport.
It's perfect. Exactly. So every
Airport?
time they
Airport?
stop. Airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you say airport, please, you can see their nipples get rock hard under their little taxi shirt. And they go, oh, say that again. Airport.
Now, this might sound strange because here in Japan, drivers almost never refuse a passenger.
Oh, no.
It was a huge problem in Vancouver and I guess also in Melbourne.
Yeah, I once had sorry to interrupt, but I once was getting into
Are you
a taxi.
sorry?
Not really.
Are you sorry?
Etiquette. I was opening the door and
Because I was saying something.
I know, but let me put this in. Let me push this in
Okay.
real quick.
Is that what you tell your wife?
Yeah, just real
Let me
quick. That's what
push
she
this
said.
in
Oh, no, that's
real
what
quick.
he said to her.
Okay, go ahead with
I was
your
once
story.
getting into a taxi after some drinks in the city, wanting to return to the suburbs, the inner suburbs, maybe
So
20
maybe
minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
Probably $40, not bad. Anyway, he drove off as I was getting into the taxi.
He was like, now, mate.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah. Well, actually, he was like, no, mate, I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
and my arm was stuck in the door, and I, luckily got it out.
He really didn't want to take you there.
Nope.
And as you're saying, he was an Indian or he was an immigrant?
Yes, from the subcontinent.
Okay.
Now, that's not to me, that's not like subhuman sub. That's sub as in the lower part of the Eurasian landmass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pakistan,
Yeah.
India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka.
And that's the thing is there tend to be many taxi drivers that are immigrants.
Sure, yeah. And it's a great way for immigrants to make money.
Yeah, you can drive a car, you can be a taxi driver. If you're not going to the airport, I do not want you. One time I had an Indian taxi driver
Yes.
and we were young, early 20s.
Young at heart, wild and free.
We were going from one bar to a different bar. We were like, oh man, we're so drunk.
Woo!
And the taxi driver said, whoa, me too.
Hey!
And he started, whoa, watch this, guys. And
Party time.
like driving really fast.
Nice.
And our feeling went from like, yeah, party to like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's concerning.
Like, hey man, okay, like, let's slow down.
Yeah, calm down. Man, he was just excited by you guys. He was feeding on your energy.
Or maybe he was just joking.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd
Who
hope
knows?
so. Yeah.
It was a funny story, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, taxi drivers refusing a fare, refusing a customer. I've had just as many white Australian drivers refuse me also. It's not a racial thing. Make that clear. Anyway, it's nice when I'm out with my friends in the past.
You don't have any friends.
Well, when I'm out with my mirror, I hold a mirror in each hand.
When you're
and it looks like I've
when
got
you're
2 friends.
calling me on Skype,
Yeah.
saying, "Oh,
Hey,
I'm out. Oh, it's so
I'm out with my
crazy."
friends. There's,
Hey, I'm Greg.
hi, I'm David. All my friends. And you say, you're going to a bar or a nightclub and you say, hey, man, can you put some music on? Because usually they're listening
To the taxi driver, you request
Yeah,
some music.
because they're often listening to boring talk-back radio.
You mean like talk shows on radio?
Welcome
Radio
back to
talk
3CRFM, and today we're talking about gardening. Next call is Margaret. Margaret, have you sorted out those magpies yet?
Man, I gotta fill it up.
Oh.
It's so cold.
Wow.
Yes, cold beer.
So you finish your beer, then you piss back into the same glass that you drank it from. The beer party never ends, folks. It just keeps coming through. Yeah, when they put on music, just some party kind of music, some techno, some hip hop, to go in the party mood. Sometimes they say, yeah, man. Sometimes they say, no.
They said no?
Oh, I've had some taxi drivers say no, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, party poopers,
So
we
you're
call
like,
them.
hey, mate, put on some music.
Come on, yeah. Put on the song about the kookaburra and the dingo.
And the driver says, no.
Nope.
You will sit in my taxi and you will shut your stupid mouth.
Yeah, close it. We're listening to Bollywood's finest.
Anyway, having a good public transportation system and affordable taxis
Yes.
that don't refuse you
Yeah.
is an important thing to stop people from drinking and driving.
Yeah. And I will say there's a lack of testing.
A lack of testing.
It's very, very, very rare to be stopped and tested for alcohol in Japan. It's never happened to me, and I've been driving in Japan for many years, and most Japanese people I've spoken to will say and have said they've never been tested in their life.
Wow.
And it seems the only time you really get tested is if you're involved in an accident.
And by tested, you mean take a breath test.
Yes, they say blow into this tube.
And you go, and
Yep.
then it goes beep, 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 beep,
Yeah, and you have to blow a long time.
beep. Right. And that tests if you've been drinking or not.
Yes, that's right. And if you fail that test, they take you to the police station or a bus and they give you a blood test, which has happened to me. In Australia,
So,
every corner has
Let's
a test.
just explain. What we're talking about is something we call roadblocks.
Right, we call them booze buses,
Okay.
which
Weird.
sounds really fun.
It sounds fun.
But it's the opposite of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, in normal English, it's called a roadblock,
Right.
where the police block the road and they talk to every driver. It'll usually happen on a Friday night or a Saturday night,
Usually, yes.
and they'll set up a roadblock close to where there are many bars and kind of drinking area.
Sure.
And they'll stop every car and they'll just quickly ask a question. Have you been drinking tonight?
Right.
And if you're sober and you say, nope, not even a single drink,
Right.
then the officer will usually say, he might smell a little bit or look at you.
Is that rum?
Say, okay, go ahead.
Really?
Off you go. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Canadian police sound
Well,
nice.
they don't want to block the road completely,
Right.
So they only test the people who look a little suspicious or when they can smell alcohol. Then they'll say, I'm sorry, sir, but please blow into this machine.
Yes.
And they'll be selective. They'll kind of pick and choose who to test.
Right.
And you're saying that in Australia, they test every person,
Well,
every driver?
No, what they do is
What if it's an old grandma like,
they're the worst. They're the worst ones. They're the worst ones. Usually on a combination of drugs and medicines. Medicine. Old people take a lot of medicine, which makes it dangerous to drive.
I've only had 8 glasses of wine.
10 Valiums,
Yes,
3
and a
Oxycodons.
Mm,
I'm happy to hopping all over the place. They'll block a major road on a Friday or Saturday night, and they'll create a separate lane using witches' hats or cones.
Witches' hats?
Yeah, we call them witches' hats.
Are you talking about the orange traffic cones?
Orange traffic cones. That's the boring term.
In Australia, you call those witches' hats?
Yes, we do. So they'll set them
What
up.
the
It's witches' hats for the booze bus.
First of all, they're orange.
Yeah, it's not,
Secondly,
Secondly, they look exactly like a witch's hat.
witch's hat. No, because they're square.
On the bottom. Yeah. Well,
A
you
witch's
can't
hat is round.
you can't have a square brim on your witch's hat.
No.
Anyway, I'm sure you can see where the name comes from.
Here's why I think it's stupid. Because it takes much longer to say witch's hat than it does to say a cone.
Yeah, traffic safety cone. That's boring.
Just a cone.
Anyway, they divert traffic using witches' hats or traffic safety cones into a separate lane.
Those orange cones.
And they choose people at random. So they'll say, this car in, this car keep going. This car in, this car keep going.
So it's totally random.
So when you're approaching, even if you haven't been drinking, you think, oh no. And if they select you, you pull in. They check, generally these days, 3 things. Number 1, you need to take a breath test. There's no questions. Blow into this, please. Number 2, these days, a drug test where you have to lick.
Drug test?
Yeah, you have
really?
to lick a stick. Not just a stick from a tree, a tree branch.
Lick this stick, mate.
Lick this stick.
He did it. He must be on drugs.
He must be off his tits.
Are you crazy? You just licked a stick?
But I thought that was that. I thought that means I'm good. Yeah, you lick some special testing stick.
It looks like a popsicle stick.
Yes,
or
and
something.
if it changes color, then you must be using drugs.
Oh no.
And thirdly, they'll check if you have any unpaid fines or
Wow.
warrants. Yeah.
Well, they really check you.
They put you through the ringer.
Oh wow.
They give you a hard time.
Put you through the ringer. That
Yeah.
means to thoroughly and carefully kind of check you or
check you really closely and
Yeah.
intensely. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not much fun.
No, it sounds like a huge pain in the ass if you get selected.
Yes. It's horrible.
Canadian way is like, hi there, have you had any drinks? Okay, go ahead.
Nope, terribly.
Hi there,
Sorry.
have you had any drinks? Okay, go ahead. Hi there, what you had to drink tonight? Are you sure it was only 1 glass of wine, sir? Please pull over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much better.
Maybe they do random as well.
Maybe they don't have enough witches' hats.
Cones!
Cones.
Traffic
Fine.
cones. Okay.
In my cauldron boil and bubble a witch's brew.
All right, contact us.
Yeah. Get in touch.
If you want to hear about something, just let us know.
Yeah.
And we're open to take on topics from listeners.
Feedback. You liked it or you loved it? And any questions that
5
you might have,
stars?
5
Or
stars.
6 stars?
Or 6 little witches'
Sorry,
hats.
Only 5 stars.
5
Yes,
stars. Yeah, only 5. 5 is the maximum.
The minimum and the maximum.
You might want to give 10 because you
Just do it
you
twice.
love it. Yeah, exactly. Leave 2 5-star reviews. Nice idea, Abe.
Yes, well, it has been fun.
It is always
I'm
fun.
going to enjoy the rest of this cold beer, and you are going to drive home completely sober.
And go to work. The opposite of drinking cold beers. Working.
Yeah, I'll be working too.
You'll be working, but with beers inside you. I should make you blow into a stick. I should make you blow my stick.
You want me to lick?
Yeah,
lick
you should lick
your dirty
my
stick?
booze, my alcohol
No,
stick.
Thank you.
Lick my little drug stick.
No, thank you.
Okay, next time.